values dictate how we behave. And we've already talked about it, the gender equality thing. You know, Kelly talked about that just a minute ago. You know, the way her values dictate how she's going to behave. I'm not letting a guy pay for my meal because I got money. You know, hood, yeah, I am. So, yeah, seriously though, and that's okay. That's okay. We already have learned in this class that cultures are not right or wrong. It's different. You know, but within the culture, there's different value systems. Most of the time, a culture dictates your values. The Taiwanese culture dictates, for you guys who are Taiwanese, your Taiwanese culture dictates how you behave. Maybe not here. Maybe at Isho you get a chance to behave a little differently. That if your mommy and daddy saw you, to go, oh, you know. Because, you know, you got a little bit of freedom out here. We talked about this in September. Here at Isho you have a little freedom now to be able to exercise how you feel about things. And you can say things the way you feel. Whereas you were growing up when you were Xiaopengyo and you got to Guoxiao, that you pretty much did the same thing and said the same things that your classmates did, your classmates said. But now you get a chance to express it differently. And that's good. Because generally people are predisposed to adopt the values that they're raised with. And that's what I was just talking about. Right? This is where we all grew up. Every one of us, mostly, grew up around a table. Especially Taiwanese people. Okay? And if you're going to share share values with each other, it starts when you're small, sharing what you feel and what you want to say with your mom and dad and your family, your grandma, you know, yin and nai. You know, they're all there at one table. So it starts there, and we are predisposed, meaning what? What does predisposed mean? Michael? What does predisposed mean? Anybody have an idea? Predisposed.
Already disposed.
We're already there. Okay. What you are adopted to now at the age you were predisposed because you were raised that way when you were younger. You brought that with you from the time you were young to now here at Isho. A lot of things that you believe were already in you. They came around the dinner table when you were just a little Xiaopengyo. Okay. People also tend to believe that their values are right because they're the values of a particular culture. We've already talked about that. We've already talked about the fact that we feel like our values are right. You say, well, not me, I'm not that way. You go to another country, first day, and you're out there and you see something happen on a street that you're not used to, that didn't come from your country. You know, believe me, because I've been here 25 years in Taiwan. 25 years. And so there's still things now, 25 years later, that I see that I go, what? They can't do that. Get that scooter off the sidewalk. You're going to kill somebody, you know. Because, and I would say that's what? That's not right. It's not right for someone to drive their scooter on the sidewalk. I said, this is not a Gaosongonglu. This is a sidewalk. The highway's out there, 10 feet away. But you choose to drive your scooter on the sidewalk. See, all right. Those values are right because they're values of my culture. My culture, you never do that. In America, Huxi, you couldn't do it. All right? Are you supposed to do it in Taiwan? Depends. Well, you're not Taiwanese. Okay, yeah, you are. Okay. Yeah, one depends and one no. Because the law says you can't do it. All right. The law says you can't do it. Just like the recent enactment of the law we already had about people walking, the Shinren, the people, pedestrians walking across the street. Now people have to stop for them to walk safely across the street. And I go, wow, yeah. Good. Finally, people can be saved. But before they enforced the law, Michael, you didn't have to do it. The law said you did, but the culture in Taiwan is, you've seen the circle, right? And you have the yin and you have the yang. Okay, you had the black and you had the white. You know what I'm talking about? This thing here goes like that, and you got a little circle here and a little circle here. Yeah, yin and yang. Because I learned early, a long time ago, that the culture here is not operating on black or white. You spin that thing. It goes round and around till the black and white becomes what? Gray. And that is where people live. That is the comfort zone. If I can just live in the gray, long side. I'm there. Yeah. So, but when you're from the West, we have a black and white. Here is a gray. Therefore, the people can ride their scooters on the sidewalk as long as they don't get caught. Right? I would say it was right because my particular culture says not. But here, I still may not think it's right. But now I can't go, boozing! I can't do that. Because what? That's not my culture. I have to start understanding what the culture is. I'm saying all this because you guys may have a chance to go to another country, to another culture, and you see things, you're going, why are they doing that? Instead of criticizing it, you start taking notes. It's like somebody said earlier, oh, I see something that I'm not used to. Write it down. Maybe don't write it down here, write it down here. And start taking notes on, wow. Start learning the culture and start enjoying it. I don't say that you have to adopt it as yours. Don't say that everything is right. You're leaving. No, not her. Did I say something? No. Two people. No. So I'm glad you guys feel that comfortable. Okay. Here are values that are intrinsic. That's another nice word. Intrinsic. What's an intrinsic value? Anybody?
Deep inside.
Deep inside. That's all we have this part. Intrinsic means what? I-N. What's it spelled? What's I-N spelled? In. Very good. Intrinsic because it's inside of us, right? And the things that we all share in values, every one of us, no matter where you are, is, say them together, each and every. One. Number two. Number three. Yes, those are intrinsic values that every person on earth has. Regardless of what their government says, you can't be free, they feel it inside that they are free. You don't have to look very far to understand that. Everybody desires to be free. All right? And to love. And the truth. You cannot live in a society that doesn't operate on truth. Everything, you have to be able to do that. Because it's inside of us innately that we must tell the truth. The truth is better than telling a lie. Right? Because my mother told me, if you tell a lie to me, what's going to happen? If you tell a lie.
Don't you have?
No, she didn't say that.
You need to tell more lies.
Exactly. If you tell a lie, then you have to tell another lie to cover that lie. Now you got two lies, and you have to take another lie and cover those two lies. You can never get back to the truth, because once you start lying, you can't stop lying. Once you start, you cannot stop. So truth is very, very important. Some values are sacred based on religious beliefs. These values will hardly ever change on the basis of decision making and forming foundations for ethical living. Okay, our decisions and our ethical living are based on values. If they're sacred and based on religious beliefs. Most values in the world are based on religious beliefs. And the first thing you think of religious beliefs, you start thinking about Chinuja or Huijia. Okay? Or Christian, Jewish, Muslim. or Taoism, or Confucianism, okay? All those are still religions, okay? Most values in Taiwan are based on religious beliefs. Boy, if you can't see that, you're not looking very far. Because I go out on the street and I see it very, very easily. Okay, this type of person relies on prayer and faith in God to make important life decisions. Again, prayer and asking God for things is not necessarily always a Christian activity or a Christian way of thinking. Praying to God and having faith in God and praying to Him is not just Christians. All right? So, all people around the world are praying to somebody. Because we have what? That intrinsic value in us that we must talk to somebody higher than us, if nothing else, to make us feel better. Feel better are getting, and some people actually believe, most people do, that if you do talk to God, He will answer you. Because in the Bible it says, if you call on me, I'll answer you. Okay? So we're based on that promise. All right, so again, those are intrinsic values, which are praying to God and having faith in Him. Faith. How many people think of faith as a good thing? F-A-I-T-H. Faith. 中文怎么说？信心. Right. Faith. How many people are exercising faith right now? How many people are exercising faith right now? My little friend from South Vietnam, right here, she's exercising faith. You know why I know that? You're sitting in this chair. If you're sitting in a chair right now, you're exercising faith. You're exercising faith right now. How do I know? You're sitting in that chair. You're having faith that that chair is not broken and that you're going to sit there. So as you sit down, you have faith that chair's going to, it's not going to break, it's not going to break, it's not going to break. It didn't break. You're having faith that the chair is not broken in some way. But as soon as you sit down, boom, and the chair falls apart, what happens? Okay, you sit down in that chair and the chair falls apart. What if, next time you sit or go to sit down in that chair, what are you going to think?
I go to think that it might break.
It might break. What happened to the faith?
Yeah, it's gone.
Broken, right? That's what happens. We have faith until we have a situation where maybe it doesn't. Values are universally recognized as our driving force in our ethics, our decision making. Ethical decision making. What is ethical decision making? We all know what a decision is, right? What's a decision? 13. All right? Does your decisions based on ethics? We talked about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'm a little activity over here, that most of our decisions are based on our knowledge and what else? Our knowledge, experience, and wisdom. Our wisdom comes from experience. All right? It doesn't come from knowledge. So we make our decisions based on our experiences we had before. And we have knowledge about how to do something. But wisdom is not knowing what to do. Wisdom, what's wisdom? Don't Excellent. A little bit louder. Very good. Good job. All right. Wisdom is not based on what we know. Wisdom is based on when to do it. You are wise when you know something, but that's not enough. You got to know when to do it. That's wisdom. All right? So wisdom is based on experience. Our decision making is based on our experiences and our knowledge. Okay? I think that's it.
Okay, thank you.